Hello, I am Mantastic and Fantastic, and today I'm going to be push-buttoning my way through Linthia Descended Mythical Plus with Liu Bei times Australis Dios team. Now, normally you run double Liu Bei, but unfortunately I don't have a Liu Bei on Mantastic, so I have to make deal with what I have and the lower multiplier. So, the key to farming Mythical Plus Linthia Descended is you need a way to deal with the pre-draws and to a certain extent the double Mythlets and the Rainbow Mask on the floor previously. So, this is a case where Balboa actually shines very bright because he voids all enemies' defenses, basically turns them to 0. So that means any match will kill off those super high defense, low health monsters. So I use him on the dub Mythlet floor, sweep the floor, the defense break carries over onto the pre-draws, and I can kill them. So if you look at my team, it's not that spectacular. It doesn't have many pluses, doesn't even have max levels on most characters, which don't matter in Rogue Descents where you're actually leveling up throughout the dungeons. So this Griffin at level 30, it doesn't matter, it becomes max level at the end of the dungeon. Now, I needed to bring Griffin and Awoken Freya because I need more damage because my team doesn't have the higher multiplier like double Liu Bei would, as well as not made pluses. Because I don't really feel like investing in this team, I'm probably not going to use it very much. The amount of pluses I put on it are just there because that was what was necessary to reach the damage threshold I need for the final boss. So without further ado, I will show you how I push button my way to victory. So, I don't have a true push button team, so I actually have to do some puzzling. Oh, woe is me, I actually have to match something. So on the first floor, I use Australis for the wood Skyfall buff to keep orbs flowing, and to double orb change all the orbs there. So, make a connected clump of green, that'll sweep the first floor. Going into floor 2, I get this wonderful Cerebrus. Now, I brought Awoken Astaroth because she removes jammers and converts red to wood. So because of all the jammers he makes, usually he makes more, I get a nice flood of wood. So I'm going to just connect the wood, and it's dead. Now, like, see, the wood Skyfalls are helping replenish my wood orbs. Because I had to bring Griffin and Awoken Freya, I had to sacrifice another sub-slot. And that's why I need to have this wood orb Skyfall, it makes my life a little easier. And I'm going to use Awoken Liu Bei for the double orb change, and enough wood orbs to kill this horrible floor. So I just basically break it up, make the 16 times of rows. I actually made 2 rows there, so I do more than enough damage to sweep the floor. And now it's the push button glory that everyone is all hyped about. I wouldn't have been able to make this team if I didn't pull Balboa during the 5x Godfest exclusive, Godfest. I didn't do very well. You can look at my other videos to see what I rolled, or check my site where I did a post that kind of just takes pictures and discusses what was good and what's bad. But relatively disappointing, but at least Balboa is put to good use. So I use Zeus Dios here and swipe. Swipe right, not Tinder, but Puzzle and Dragons. So this is where Balboa comes into play. And there's going to be an associated post of this video, so you'll have written instructions of what you need for your team, so you can kind of maybe emulate this team or build something similar that will work for you, just telling you what floors you need to have the various actives. So here's Balboa. I break their defense, and all I have to do is match one set of wood. And since they have 0 defense and just 20 HP or so, they die in one go. And the same goes for these pre-draws, who have really high defense and no health, because the armor break carries forward and just sweeps the floor. No problem. And then I get to here, Zeus Dios, swipe right. And I actually had to do this dungeon a couple of times to just make sure I had enough damage or enough pluses or enough awakenings or whatever have you may. So I did find out that if I were to get just a single combo on the final boss, I would not do enough damage to sweep her. So I had to bring Awoken Freya, Zeus Dios and her swipe right, kills the first form Linthia, and then on this floor here, I will use the Zeus Dios after all my awakenings are disabled. which is a giant loss in damage because you lose your rows, you lose the co-op bonus from Zeus Dios. So you need to have as much damage as possible either through the Woken Freya, and the Griffin Orb Enhance for myself, which compensates for my lack of pluses. So there, the whole board's enhanced, and this will actually do just enough damage if I get 0 combos in addition, like Skyfall. So I had 1 more, which does 25% more, so that's obviously enough. There will be a screenshot on the post. You can see how much damage I deal at the very minimum. Also, like, kind of discuss how much damage you need. You might have to do some trial and error to determine if you have enough damage. You might fail once or twice until you find out, or you can just go with the Freya and Griffin strategy that I used. Kills it. All you need is skill ups on Zeus Dios. Everyone else doesn't matter. Balboa's skill level 1, Griffin's 1, and everyone else, even if no skill ups, are still less than Zeus Dios when max skilled. Your team will vary according to how much skill boost you have, so trial and error, like I said. You can go in endless first for those skill boost testing. But you might have to do Linthia to see how much damage you actually deal. So that was Mythic plus Linthia with almost pure push button team. Hopefully this is informative. Maybe you'll be able to make a team like this on your own. Let me know what you think. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, check out the associated post, and happy puzzling!